On this occasion, the Ministry of Industry is delighted to be a part of the international workshop. How can digital, labor and industrial policies make Southeast Asia safer and more resilient? An initiative shared by the University of Cambridge, the UNIDO Sub-Regional Office Indonesia in Jakarta, and the Lloyd Register Foundation.
Even as digital trade is growing with enormous potentials, we are faced with growing threats to cybersecurity, cybercrime, and privacy-related issues. The worst affected are the vulnerable MSMEs and family businesses, which form the backbone of Indonesia's economy. For instance, the World Risk Poll highlights variations in how people perceive AI-related data and job security, industrial policies and trade across ASEAN.
Today we had a very interesting event discussing AI and discussing labor policies in preparation for our policy brief. I think all the inputs that we are receiving, we are going to put together and integrate into the policy brief in order to support policy design and the different frameworks that are at the regional level, such as ASEAN, such as many other platforms. So it's really very productive, and we will continue working together.
I think from today's discussions, we learned that ASEAN, that consists of the 10 Southeast Asian countries, have massive potentials in digital trade. In 2024, we recorded $260 billion of digital trade, which is estimated to reach $1 trillion by 2030. That will contribute 10% of global digital trade. Other than this massive potentials of Southeast Asia in digital trade, Southeast Asia also faces the 4 key challenges that are data privacy, data security, and the second one is digital divide. The third one is competitions, and fourth one is how to improve the use of digital and AI for improving our value added and productivity.
Today's discussion focusing on digital trade and AI policy are very critical and essential to cross the intersections between digital policy and also promoting more inclusive cross-border data flows and promoting interoperability and policy harmonization. I think we are seeing the digital trade and AI policy becoming the bloodline for trade economies around the world today, because enabling cross-border data flows and data governance and privacy are very essential, and it actually facilitates digital trade around the world. And therefore, in this case, the workshop today has been very beneficial to me, and I hope that this intellectual discourse will be continued.
Today's event was really a very important milestone in assessing and connecting the dots when it comes to technology, industrial policy, and the human beings working in all of those areas, the workers themselves, so labor policy as well. We spoke a bit about occupational safety and health in this evolving world of work and evolving industrial world of work. And I thought it was quite rewarding to hear the perspectives, good evidence-based research from renowned universities and think institutes, collaboration from my part also with sister UN agency, UNIDO in this case, as well as representatives from government and the media, bringing different perspectives, both here Indonesian, but Southeast Asian, but also global to this very important and timely conversation.
Terkait dengan ketahanan industri ya, kita juga butuh teknologi. Teknologi yang dibutuhkan tidak hanya terkait dengan teknologi itu sendiri, tapi juga yang lebih penting adalah manusianya. Karena tanpa manusia juga teknologi tidak akan bisa berjalan dengan baik. Tadi sudah ada pembahasan di seminar bahwa terkait dengan AI. AI juga merupakan salah satu teknologi untuk mempermudah pekerjaan kita sehari-hari. Dan itu juga kita juga tidak bisa menahan teknologi sekali apapun. Kita juga harus mengikuti teknologi dan bagaimana memanfaatkan dan mengimplementasikan di kehidupan sehari-hari untuk industri ya, berdaya saing yang lebih efisien, lebih produktif dan sebagainya.
So industrial cooperation is the heart and cornerstone of ASEAN's economic growth. In fact, industrial cooperation made up 1/3 of the economic growth in ASEAN. I'd like to just share the most recent key policy document just launched in May this year, the ASEAN Industrial Project-Based Initiative, hugely backed and supported by the UK government. The aim of this framework is really to look into how we can promote regional and global value chain and to promote more longer-term socio-economic resilience for the region by helping to industrialize some less developed countries. When we use data from this poll, it really helps facilitate evidence-based policy making. Yeah? One that is not just technically sound, but also socially grounded. The type of data that being used in the poll, it is very people-centric. Yeah? They're really looking at the on the ground, how people feel and perceive risks, not just about what they expect things. I think the poll is truly global and comparable, because if you look at the poll itself, it's very huge. I think this is one of the biggest surveys we have on a global scale. And finally, what I like about the poll is that the type of risk that it covers, not just the normal or the common risks like the natural disasters, but it also look into the smaller risks, everyday risks. This would be the value of WRP in facilitating evidence-based decision making and policy making.
Two important messages of the event today is first is that manufacturing is important in order to have a more prosperous country, specifically in Indonesia, where Indonesia is targeting Golden Indonesia 2045. So manufacturing is essential, and this is something that is related with the mandate of UNIDO. So we are ready to support the country in order to reach this target. And the second is on labor policies, and I think it's really important. It's not just everything about competitiveness or growth, but we also have to take care of the workers. The health and mental health were one also important component, and all these important in order to have a prosperous country.